Where does the idea of a pre-tribulation rapture come from? People are going crazy about it right now.
It comes historically from the 1830s. I think the Plymouth Brothers. Margaret MacDonald came up with a charismatic experience, manifested speaking in tongues, and it caught on at Dallas Theological Seminary. I'll tell you why, because people don't like the idea of the Great Tribulation. They'd like to escape it. And you can escape it, according to the Philadelphia church message in Revelation 3. If you don't need to be tribulated, tested in that extreme form, God can have you escape in your own house by fleeing to the mountains. Jesus said, the way to look at this is to examine, first of all, Matthew 24. You always start with Jesus. Don't start with Paul. Paul is excellent. Paul speaks for Jesus. But start with Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. We're talking here not just about a pre-tribulation rapture, but a pre-tribulation resurrection rapture. So Jesus made absolutely no mention of that. Jesus was talking to the disciples, to us Christians. When you see the abomination of desolation standing where he, please note the he there in Mark 13 and 14, you may not find it correct in your translation, but it's right there in the Greek. The abomination of desolation is a person, a he, not a thing. Participle standing is masculine in contrast to the neuter, right? Mark has a person there. So that's very clear. The Great Tribulation is future. It's a short burst of unparalleled agony. Then you're to flee to the mountains. Get out of there quickly, because at that point there will be initiated the time of greatest tribulation. There's only one of those times of great unprecedented translation. You can't have two of them. Daniel 12:1 is a massive and mighty key to Bible study. That when that last king of the north, the anti-Christian figure, comes to his end, at that time there'll be an enormous great tribulation such as never ever been. Then comes the resurrection of the dead. You see, that's close to the second coming. We discussed it earlier, the resurrection of the dead. So people say, well, Jesus was talking to the Jews. Now you're into the fundamental error that is most to be guarded against. Don't ever say that the words of Jesus are for Jews and not for you. That's to get rid of Jesus. That's the ultimate antichrist, according to 1 Timothy 6:3. So most people now are maybe going crazy about it because there's a very strong influence in evangelical preaching, but it's not there in Matthew 24. It's not there in 1 Thessalonians 4, where Paul talks about a single second coming, one event, and it's the day of the Lord, the one future visible parousia of Jesus. You cannot have two parousias, two second comings. And that's what they eventually arrive at. So engage some of the websites on that question. You will learn massively if they're willing to talk to you about it, and do it in a gentle spirit, of course, and challenge them and say, look, where's this second parousia in Matthew 24? It's not there.